Hey guys, it's me. Today I'm here with the movies I saw in the month of January. The thing is, I'm working on a video for which I have to watch a couple of movies, and most of the movies in here are watched for the video. So go ahead, guess what it is. I'm not done yet. I'm halfway through. I was hoping to be done in January, but it was a harder task than expected. So I'm hoping to get it done in February, but I can't promise you anything. So, but yeah, make a guess. Out of the movies on this list, make a guess what the video is gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of movies in here that are not really movies that I typically enjoy watching. So that's why some of my ratings for some of the movies are gonna be lower, because it's not really something I'm interested in. But for this video, I have to watch them. So yeah, I just want to put a disclaimer out there because I feel like, I don't know, these are movies that are well loved. So yeah, I also made like a change to these videos because I didn't used to explain what the movies were about because I'm just not good at that stuff. And my videos where I review like shows I recently watched, I use the IMDb descriptions, so I thought I would also use that for these movies. So if I'm like reading off, it's because I have them written down. So yeah, let's just begin with the first movie I saw this year, this decade, this month, Shrek, which was released in 2001. A mean lord exiles fairy tale creatures to the swamp of a grumpy ogre who must go on a quest and rescue a princess for the lord in order to get his land back. I gave this movie 4 out of 5 stars, and believe it or not, but I hadn't seen this movie before now. Usually, well, it's like movies like this, I put it on the blame of I was too young because I was born in 2001, but I can't put it on this movie because so many people my age and younger have seen this movie and are obsessed with it. But I don't know, I never watched it as a kid. So here we go. I watched it now and I really liked it. I do think that I would have loved it more if I grew up with the movie, but I think it has aged very well. The jokes are still pretty great. You can tell that Shrek has formed our generation because it's very much the same as like the meme humor, which also makes sense because Shrek is all in a lot of memes, but you can definitely tell that it shaped who we are as a generation, because I like that it was more of like a parody on the fairy tale genre, and I like what it did with it and how it turned tropes on their head and how it played with it. I think it's brilliantly done. The soundtrack is just amazing. Then the next movie I watched is Jurassic Park, which came out in 1993. A pragmatic paleontologist visiting an almost complete theme park is tasked with protecting a couple of kids after a power failure causes the park's cloned dinosaurs to run loose. I gave this movie a rating of 3 out of 5 stars, which, this is why I gave the disclaimer in the beginning, because I know this movie is very well loved and this was my first time watching it, and how do I explain this? It's just not my thing. Genuinely, because I can recognize that this is a really, really good movie. It's well made and it's interesting, and I can get why people love this movie so much and why it is the iconic movie that it is. But I personally didn't like it that much because I don't know, I didn't really connect with the movie at any point. I didn't have a connection point at all throughout the entire movie. Then the next movie I watched was a rewatch of Monsters Inc., which came out in 2001. In order to power the city, monsters have to scare children so that they scream. However, the children are toxic to the monsters, and after a child gets through, 2 monsters realize things may not be what they think. I gave this movie 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's almost a 5 star, not completely, because I was detached from it at a couple of moments, but this movie is brilliant. Like, I didn't really remember too much from this movie because I watched it when I was very young, and it was not really one of those movies I rewatched a lot as a kid, so I just didn't really know that much about this movie. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I like also I feel like it snuck up on me. Like, I think like, throughout the entire movie I was very interested in stuff, but then with the ending, then I realized how much I was invested in like these characters and in this plot, and I was just like it hurt a little bit. But yeah, I think this movie is great. I think it does a great job of introducing you to this world without really ever info dumping, but still everything like stays very obvious and it's clear what's happening. I really liked our characters a lot. I liked this movie a lot. I thought it was wholesome and cute. Then I watched The Lost World Jurassic Park, which came out in 1997. A research team is sent to the Jurassic Park Site B island to study the dinosaurs there, while an Indian team approaches with another agenda. And I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. I didn't like this movie. I thought this one was definitely less interesting than the first movie. It just felt like nothing really happened in this movie. It just felt like it just dragged out a lot, and especially towards the ending, I feel like there were like 5 points towards the ending where we could have wrapped things up, but like the plot was just like, no, let's continue, and it just, I don't know, I was very disinterested in this movie. Because of that, I needed a break. So, no, that's not it. I was feeling very, not really, a little bit sick one day. I couldn't really focus on anything. But I decided to watch a documentary. And if I watch a documentary, it's usually like pop star documentaries, because why need depth? So I like watching pop star documentaries because I think it's very interesting. I think the music industry is very interesting. So I decided to watch Dolly Parton, Here I Am, which came out in 2019. In this documentary, the life, career, and music of Dolly Parton are reflected in interviews with friends and companions and the artist herself, until it laced with clips of Parton's performances. I watched this because Dolly Parton is one of those names that everybody knows, and everybody knows the songs of, but like I don't know a lot of people who are diehard fans of Dolly Parton, and I know she still has a diehard fan community, but I don't really know that many people that are like diehard Dolly Parton fans. So I don't know too much about her, and I decided to watch this because ever since I saw Dumplin', which is a movie about like a girl, and basically she is like a huge Dolly Parton fan, which the movie isn't about that, but it's part of a character. And since then I've been like very interested in Dolly Parton, but I never really went through with things. So then I watched this documentary because it did hold my attention. So yeah, I don't rate documentaries because I think that's a little bit weird, but I really like this one. I think it gave a great insight on Dolly Parton and her music. Like, I loved how it explained her life and her career, but also went into some of her more popular songs and just like explained her thought process behind writing it and everything, and the circumstances of how it was released, which I think is very interesting, especially because they mainly did that with some of her like earlier songs, and how like certain of those songs had like an impact on society at the time, which I thought was interesting because I obviously wasn't alive when those songs were released. So yeah, I think this is a very interesting documentary. Then I watched Jurassic Park III, which came in 2001. A decidedly odd couple with ulterior motives convince Dr. Grant to go to Isla Sorna, I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, for a holiday, but their unexpected landing startles the island's new inhabitants. And I gave this movie a rating of 2.5 out of 5 stars, which I feel like I need to defend, because I think, yes, realistically, the second Jurassic Park movie is better than this last one, because I feel like this last one was definitely just a cash grab, with not a lot of thought put into it, but this one entertained me a bit. This one didn't bore me to that, so I feel like it deserves that 0.5 star more. Then, next, Ocean's 11, which came out in 2001. Danny Ocean and his 10 accomplices plan to rob 3 Vegas casinos simultaneously, and I gave this movie again 3 out of 5 stars. There's another one which the disclaimer was for, because I know this is a very well loved movie, but again, it just didn't do much for me. I just felt like it was I just felt constantly like nothing was really happening, which was weird, because it does move. It's not like it does move forward quite a lot, but it just felt like, I don't know, it felt like nothing was happening even though stuff were happening, and I was getting my issue with it. And also, again, the romance in this, dude, I've complained about this before in like other movies, but why do action movies need to include a romance so badly? Because this one didn't make sense at all. Like, at all. And I feel like they could have put like just a small scene in there to just kind of make it more sense. But they didn't do that, so it didn't make sense. And 2, just stop. We don't need a romance in your action movie at all. Then the next movie I watched is my least favorite movie of the month, and that's Wish Hour, which came out in 1998. A loyal and dedicated Hong Kong inspector teams up with a reckless and loud-minded LAPD detective to rescue the Chinese consul's kidnapped daughter, while trying to arrest a dangerous crime lord along the way. And I give this movie 1.5 out of 5 because it was just I didn't like it. I just feel like the main thing I didn't like in this movie is that it had a tone issue, because it would switch from being like very serious to like being very funny immediately, and it just didn't really flow nicely, I think. And then also I feel like until like the very end the action is very lackluster and there isn't really much. But I do think at some points like the comedy they do good jokes at some points, not always. And I mean the characters were kind of intriguing, but like I don't know, the tone issue just messed with me so much. And then moving on to the last movie I saw in January, which I just squeezed into January, and that's Miss Americana, which came out in 2020. Came out the last day of January. A look at the iconic pop artist Taylor Swift doing a transformational time in her life as she embraces her role as a singer-songwriter and harnesses the full power of her voice. And again, didn't wait this one, but I really like this. I watched this mainly because last year the Reputation tour, no, that came out in 2018, like very much at the end of 2018 came out the Reputation tour, and that was just her concert. And I thought there was gonna be like a behind the scenes thing, so that I originally watched it, and then I realized it was a concert. I was like, still watched it, I still liked it, but like I like more of like the behind the scenes stuff, and this one did a great job of delivering that. I really liked this. I'm not really the biggest Taylor Swift fan, but I think this was a great documentary, and it really gave an insight into like a lot of things that happened in her life. Like it went back to like the beginning of her career, and I really like this documentary. Even if you're not really a fan of Taylor Swift, I think this is a very interesting watch because it gives a very interesting insight into the music industry, as well as just like one of the biggest names in pop music. And yeah, I just think this is a very interesting insight, and it shows a side of musicians that we often forget that it's there, and I really liked it. And I teared up at a couple of points because, god damn it, that woman has been through a lot and knows how to hide it from the public very well. Those were all the movies I saw in the month of January. Let me know in the comments below what are some of the movies you watched this month, as well as what you thought of the movies I watched this month. And I guess I'll see you guys next time.
Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated? Should've played